Hi guys, Darth Deuces here, back on their Star Wars The Vintage Collection action figure review. Today taking a look at a new release. It is the Empire Strikes Back Imperial Snowtrooper Hoth Battle Gear. A new Snowtrooper. It has been a long time since we've gotten a Snowtrooper figure. The last one I can remember was there's that Snowtrooper Commander in the 3¼ Black series, and that's easily probably pretty close to being a decade old now. I never got that figure. In terms of just a normal snowtrooper, it's been ages, like maybe like 2008, 2009, maybe 2010. I can't remember. It's been a long time. So this is a figure that's, I think, definitely been due for a modern update, and it looks pretty good in the packaging, anyways. But we'll take a closer look, obviously. But taking a quick look at it in the card back here, or on the card back here, I really like the card back. Got a pretty good image, full body image of the snowtrooper from the movie. Figure on there with the Empire Strikes Back logo and everything. Then on the back, another image of the figure, brief little write up there, multiple languages, that sort of thing. Not too much else to talk about. So I'm gonna get this guy cracked open and we'll take a closer look. Now the figure out of the packaging, and this is a really solid figure. It's kind of criminal. This is the only snowtrooper I really have in 3¾ inch. I used to have one years and years ago when I was a kid. It might have been from like the Saga collection or original trilogy collection or something. I don't know. It looked really good, but it had really bad articulation. I think I technically still have that figure, but when I was younger, I painted it, trying to customize it, and it's a write-off at this point. So I'm not going to use it for comparison or anything. But yeah, that's the only snowtrooper at this scale I ever owned until now. So it's nice to have one, and one that's so well done, because this figure is honestly really, really well done, I think. I'm pretty impressed by it. But taking a closer look, the helmet sculpt I think looks really good. The eye lenses are painted in black and are pretty clean, which is nice, because Hasbro definitely likes to get those skewed on different trooper figures from time to time. The white armor also has a really nice glossiness to it that I like. I think that looks cool. The shoulder pads are on those O-ring like the Black Series figures are, which I actually, yeah, the newish, like I say, newish Stormtrooper mold. It's like 4 or 5 years old now, but it's using the O-ring style attachment on the shoulder pads, similar to how the Black Series figures do their shoulder pads. That's actually really cool to see at this scale. Chest plate has some nice sculpted and painted detail. All this paint apps are actually really cleanly applied, which is really nice. And a little bit of silver there on the belt armor. And pouches, gauntlets look good. Backpack, again, has some really nice paint apps. Quite a bit, actually. It is a removable accessory. It's just pegs on there. It has a D-shaped peg and plugs on. There's a bit of strap detail on the back there, which is nice. Then the belt with a thermal detonator. As you can see, they did go with a soft goods comma for the Snowtrooper. I actually like it. I think the fabric they use looks pretty good. I think it melds fairly well with the color and look of the rest of the figure, and it allows for a lot better articulation. I'll compare with the old Black Series figure, but that one had a pretty thick plastic comma, and while it looked good, but it just really, really limited articulation. So this fixes the issue, and I think they did a pretty good job on that one. It sits pretty well on the figure. Doesn't look too big or anything like that. It looks pretty nice. So I like that. Then underneath, the pants are, pretty basic, but nicely sculpted. You've got some knee armor, and then the boots actually do have some nice bit of weathering detail applied to them, similar to the Black Series figure as well. So that's nice. Articulation-wise, you've got all the modern articulation. There is a dumbbell joint in there at the neck. Obviously, you're not going to really get much up and down movement because of the sculpt design of the helmet and like the face covering, but you do have rotation. Hinges at the shoulders move out a fair amount. They rotate because those shoulder pads are on that O-ring. The shoulder pads will rotate with the joint, which is really nice. Single hinges at the elbows that I'd say move a little past 90 and rotate, and then swivels at both wrists. The right wrist has a trigger finger and goes up and down. The right hand goes in and out and has a more normal gripping hand. There's a ball joint at the torso, which can go back just a bit. Can't really crunch forward because of all the armor bits getting in the way. Not a whole lot of pivot, but you do get pretty decent rotation. Got the newer style hip joints, so they can kick out pretty much all the way. This groin armor piece is made of a softer plastic, so it'll move out of the way. and then full splits, and obviously the soft goods allows that. It doesn't get in the way at all. Solo cut at the thigh, a single hinge at the knee that goes 90 with rotation, and then a hinge at the ankle that goes up, down, and rocker. So pretty good articulation, much better than the Black Series one because of that soft goods utilization. So I do like that quite a bit. In terms of accessories, it doesn't come with much, maybe the weakest part of the figure, but I guess to be fair, they don't really use much in the movie, and they're not in the movie that long, so there's not much they could have came with. But like I said, you do have the backpack, that's a separate accessory. And then, of course, does have to have a blaster. You do get the standard Stormtrooper blaster we've seen plenty of times before. Unfortunately, no paint apps on it, but it does hold it real well, like so. And then we can get, let me get them maybe in a quick pose. It's no problem getting them in blaster holding poses with the articulation. Yeah, like so. Looks pretty good. And then I can utilize that leg articulation. And there you go. Pretty cool. Straighten back out for comparison here. I do wish maybe he came with another gun. The Black Series one came with that longer, like sniper rifle sort of blaster, and they do have that mold at the 3 1/4 inch scale that they've given to some Stormtroopers before. So it would have been kind of nice if they included that, but yeah, it's not a big deal. But for comparison, I guess for some 3 1/4 inch figures, like I said, I don't have any of the other 3 1/4 inch Snowtroopers, unfortunately. Here he is with a standard Stormtrooper. So they look pretty good. They're about the same height, which makes sense. Here he is with the old TVC AT-AT Commander, which I actually reviewed recently. And they also look pretty good together. It'd be nice to see an update to this one. But that's cool. They work pretty well together. And then lastly, let me raise this up a bit. With the Black Series release from a number of years ago now, you can see that's the rifle that the Black Series one came with. You can see kind of differences. I definitely prefer the 3 1/4 inch. Like I said, the soft goods works a lot better for the articulation on the legs there. This thing can barely pose its legs because of the plastic comma. Also, I much prefer the color of the fabric parts on the new one than the old one. The old one had this really dark cream color, as you can see, for like the pants and the comma and stuff. It just looks way too dark to me, where this one, it's an off-white, but it looks a lot better than the Black Series. I like this one's look a lot more. But otherwise, they're decently similar figures. But I do think the TVC one is the superior one in this instance. But that's pretty much it. Overall, this is actually a really solid release. You know, I pre-ordered this and I was like, you know, it looks cool. But I wonder, should I have pre-ordered it, or did it have to be such a priority for me to get? And I'm glad I did pre-order it because, well, I can't imagine it's going to be super hard to find or anything like that. It's a really solid figure. I'm pretty impressed just how it looks. It just looks really good. And then it has the articulation to boot as well, which is really nice. If TVC figures and just figures in general weren't so expensive these days, I would probably at least get one more of these guys. As it stands now, I probably won't bother getting any more. I don't really army build, so I probably won't get another one unless I find it like for cheap or something, which is probably not super likely, but you never know. But if you are collecting TVC, I would highly recommend this figure. Even if you're not like a huge trooper person, I still would recommend this one. It's a pretty iconic look, even though it doesn't, it's not in the movie for that long. And it's a really well done figure. So I think it's definitely worth picking up at least one. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and I'll see you all in the next video. May the Force be with you.